What's up, guys? Rony here, and I wanted to announce something super exciting that I've been working on for the past few months, and it's finally coming to fruition now. So, if you've known me for a little while, or you've followed me on any social media content, or you've seen some of my super old YouTube videos, you would know that I've been into entrepreneurship and marketing for a long time, since I dropped out of college about a couple years ago. Actually, before that as well. And, when I was trying to figure things out on my own, it's probably one of the most difficult times of my life because I couldn't find really actionable and practical content that wasn't trying to sell me on something. And don't get me wrong, I do believe in paying for things when the value's there. But what I was finding was ineffective solutions to big problems in my life in terms of marketing and entrepreneurship. So, I wanted to create a platform to get through that, but more on that in a second. So, there's two reasons why most people do things, 3 if you ask a philosopher. And the first one for me, this is the selfish reason, okay? So my end goal in my life is to launch 100 businesses profitably through marketing. And I believe that, one, I'm gonna need to have a massive network to allow me to do such a thing, and to allow the organic relationships and partnerships and launches to go to just grow essentially. And 2, I would need to have my skills be extremely honed and capable. And this can happen from learning and rubbing brains with the most effective and competent entrepreneurs in the space. And so that's my selfish reason of launching this show and this podcast. The selfless reason is the bigger one. The selfless reason is I have the empathy and understanding of knowing that when you're either up and coming or trying to hone your results in a certain skill set or area, such as, email marketing, copywriting, paid traffic, you need to be fed a certain amount of knowledge in a simple medium so that you are actually capable of implementing, right? Because there's so much fluff on the internet because everyone's trying to upsell you on something. So that free YouTube video has a free lead magnet in the description that puts you down this other funnel. And that's cool. I respect that a lot. And again, I'm not opposed to offering value, right? Because I help people do that. I'm a marketer. But this is not what this platform's for. What this platform is for is essentially giving amazing marketers and entrepreneurs a platform to share practical strategies and proven strategies that will make you money and change your life. And I just don't think this is in existence yet at scale and with the people in my network that I've met, right? And so another reason for this, it just seemed like a natural progression because I've had the blessing and I'm extremely grateful for this opportunity where I've got to meet and shake hands with a lot of incredible marketers in the space, and I've been lucky enough to call some of them my friends. So I say, I'm already friends with these people. I already have conversations with them. Why don't I create a platform to actually have these conversations in public, right? And one of the biggest ways that I've learned in my life, because growing up I was an avid reader. I'm just getting back into it. I think I've read a book and a half this last week alone. But when I was up and coming, I was learning too much and I wasn't doing enough. And so I took a step back from that. I said, okay, where's the bottleneck and how do I fix this? And for me, that was when I started learning from people and immersion in doing, right? Which should be common sense, but that's not, common sense isn't always common practice. So, what I want this to be for you guys, for you, is I believe that there's different mediums for learning, and apprenticeship is one of them. And to me, it's one of the most important ones because you can't learn that from school. You can't learn that from a course. You learn that from working in an environment with either one or more experienced people than you, and not only being in the trenches with them, but through the conversations that you have with them during that process. Because when you understand the frame of reference that they have going into a certain situation, and then you see the basic knowledge, your mind chunks them and on an unconscious level creates knowledge networks that allow you to actually use that knowledge effectively. Okay, so the skilled, experienced practitioner will see the same things like a novice will, like 3 or 4 data points, but the connections they make on the unconscious level that allow them to actually get results in their life, that comes from the years of mastery that they've practiced into one skill. And this applies across all disciplines, whether it be marketing, whether it be a physical sport, whether it be games. I love games. Yeah, so I want to be able to engage the people that I invite to speak on this podcast in those conversations, to really weave out and pull that information, those years of mastery behind what's at face value, so you can really sponge this information. I want this to be the Joe Rogan, if you will, of marketing entrepreneurship podcasts, so that it actually helps you understand where they're coming from. And it goes beyond that marketing wall that they put up, right? So, some of these people will be well known, some of these won't. Or a lot of these people are going to be up and coming, right? Because I think that's who you are going to relate with the most, because that's who I'm making this for. And you're going to see behind, honestly, their walls. Like, it's going to be a very conversational and intimate podcast, but with a ton of value in terms of actionable things that you can take away and implement into your life. So, expect Impact Marketer podcasts in a few weeks. And before that, though, I do want to, shout out 2 major influences on the actual creation of, or I guess the framework behind the creation of this. One being Tom Bilyeu, founder of Quest Nutrition, with his entire show, Impact Theory, or his thesis is he's trying to create a show that pulls people out of the matrix and allows them to better themselves through mindset. Okay, so mine is slightly different. Again, I believe most marketers on the internet are not focused on impact. And what I mean by impact, I mean the literal definition of how can you forcibly change an object or something, in this case, a person. Okay, I don't believe most marketers are focused on the actual change that they create or enact on another person. Okay, so that's where the impact comes from, right? Like, I want to actually change your life if you're interested in marketing and entrepreneurship, which I'm assuming you are if you're listening to this. And then the marketer aspect of it, so one is impact, the other is marketer. The marketer is the other person I bring onto the show. Okay, so it's twofold. The person that's willing to change your life, and then the person I bring onto the show. This should be one person, and each episode is going to actually, and my intention is, actually push you one step further down this journey, or at least shorten the gap, the skill gap, because life is a culmination of skill gaps that you're trying to close to push you forward. And again, I think this is one of the fastest ways, is from seeing who's ahead of you and asking for help, or asking for insight, or asking how they approach this complex problem that you have no idea how to approach. Okay, so that's part A, or part 1 of the framework behind this. Part 2 is a guy named Jordan Schumacher, who got me the most results in my marketing, and it was through a course. It was completely free, and this baffled me because I've spent probably $10,000 plus on conferences, courses, trainings, summits in my entirely short 4 to 5 year career of being in business. And his by far was like top 2 of content I've consumed, and it was completely free and transparent and actionable and proven and simple. And I just thought, holy crap, more people need to have content like this. And so that's the main reason why, I wanted to start this podcast. And again, because I have people in my network or networks of networks that I can reach into, I think this is an amazing time for me to start this for you. So thanks so much again for listening. And yeah, expect a drop by the end of this month. As of right now, it's October. Yeah, so see ya. Bye.